My name is Majek. I'm an artist based in London, and I'm part of this group show, Vestiges.
Paul, can you talk a bit more about your process and especially your use of layering and creating almost ghostly visual language and your choice of material in some of the works?
Of course. The work behind me is a process of using acrylic paint. So I prime my canvas and then I work with acrylic. No, I don't use acrylic paint on this. I use oil paint and soft pastel on canvas, and I start with drawings. I enjoy drawing first with soft pastels and then building up layers and detail with oil paint. But I enjoy going back into it and taking and adding away and like continuing to draw throughout the process of painting. So I don't stop using soft pastel, I continue to layer. In other works, I sometimes use wood, plywood, so I like to stain. I first prime the wood with an acrylic primer, and then I add color with acrylic just to kind of create a transparent, kind of quite thin layer that keeps the grain. And then I work on top with oil paints and soft pastel too. So yeah, hopefully that's clear.
A lot of your work works from family archives and personal narratives. How do you draw from these works in your visual language?
Yeah, so I think the family archive is a source of inspiration for me. And I think it's because working with family and working with people I have a relationship with allows me to start from somewhere and start from that relationship. So the pattern depicts my grandparents, and it was made before my grandmother passed away. But my grandfather passed when I was the same year I was born. So it's me kind of reflecting on the relationship I didn't have with my grandfather and the relationship I did have with my grandmother. So yeah, I worked through color and worked through family archives and just tried to layer different imagery that reminds me of them, but also is symbolic of like our relationship.
There's a sense of loss running throughout the works in the show. Can you talk more about that?
Yes. The three works kind of embody ideas of memory and loss and dreams. And I think when you think of losing someone, you also think of like a loss of a memory or waking up from a dream and trying to recall, trying to bring something back. And I think in my work, I go through those types of thoughts and I go through those types of feelings of trying to remember something or trying to just get a glimpse of a memory and just thinking about what that looks like and not having the whole picture and just having just enough to kind of allow myself or the viewer to kind of project their own memories and what they kind of feel in the image. But I think, yeah, thinking about loss and thinking about memory is quite important. It's very important in my practice. And in there's a new work, so I'm forgetting the title of it, but yeah, in passing moments, it's kind of thinking about things that have passed. It's thinking about experiences that have gone by that you kind of follows you and that kind of stays with you, but just in bits. And the idea of kind of creating a world around just those smaller memories and kind of making things up or using your imagination. I think that's kind of what memory is, and that's what dreams are. It's kind of some parts feel real and some parts feel like almost made up. So I think it's using loss to kind of imagine, I would say, yeah.